There we go. Hi, how are you? Welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion, and it is time for you to get involved, to comment. Say who you are, where you're from, where you're deplorable from. This is the place where the deplorables get down, and then we get right back up again. Okay, that was a little geeky, but whatever. Today's program being brought to you by the HearMeOut app and a brand new sponsor that I'm so excited about. It is a company that I really encourage you to look into, and it's called Virtual Shield. And I will tell you about Virtual Shield, why you need a VPN, and why this is important for you now. So that's coming up. Right now, though, do me a favor. Check in who you are, where you're deplorable from, and let's just get this thing started. By the way, do you follow me on Facebook? Rusty Humphries, that's my name. Look for me in a blue shirt. Also, rustylive.com is my website that I don't keep up to date as much as I should. My Facebook pages are out there. And, of course, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, boy, I sure would appreciate if you do that. Subscribe to the podcast and make sure that you tell your friends about that podcast and what we're doing here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Okay, a couple things going on. It appears that we had another terrorist act in Toronto today, and they have just announced who the guy is. So let's take a look at the news and what they're saying, and let's see if we can get a little bit of an idea of what in the world is going on here.
We're going to move now to a developing story in Toronto where a van jumped a curb on a busy street and mowed down pedestrians. At least 9 were killed, more than a dozen injured. A number of them are in critical condition tonight. Witnesses say it appeared to be a deliberate act. After a standoff with police captured on this cell phone video, the driver was arrested. Vladimir Dutier has the latest on this. Vlad?
Jeff, it happened just before 1:30 p.m. in a North Toronto neighborhood along one of the city's major thoroughfares. One witness described the scene as pure carnage. Cell phone video shows bystanders frantically giving CPR to victims moments after a driver steered a white Ryder van onto a sidewalk and, according to some witnesses, plowed into dozens of pedestrians at 40 miles per hour, leaving a trail of destruction.
He just went on the sidewalk. He just started hitting everybody, man. He hit every single person on the sidewalk. Anybody in his way he would hit.
He was definitely speeding. Like, he did seem to have control over what he was doing, but like, so it wasn't some sort of impairment where he was swerving or something, but just straight through.
CBS sources have identified the suspect as 25-year-old Alec Manassian. In a short standoff with Toronto police nearly 2 miles from where he struck the victims, the suspected driver got out of the vehicle and pointed an object in a threatening stance at the officers.
That's called a gun.
Before he was taken into custody.
That's called
Peter Yoon is the acting deputy chief.
Because this is going to be a long investigation with multiple witnesses, with a lot of surveillance cameras.
Canadian law enforcement officials say the incident appears to be a deliberate act, but have not ruled this an act of terrorism. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Our hearts go out to anyone affected. We're going to obviously have more to learn and more to say in the coming hours.
These pictures are awful to look at. Vlad, what else do we know about the suspect tonight?
So, Jeff, a source tells CBS News the suspect was known to police, but they haven't released any additional details as to motive. The incident happened just over 10 miles away where foreign ministers are meeting ahead of the G7 in Toronto.
Right,
okay, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, and I'm sure that guy, we will not find out that he has converted to a religion other than Christianity, Judaism, or Buddhism. That's just a guess. Or that we will not find out that he is some kind of a left-wing kook who doesn't like certain governments. Just prediction. One of the two. What do you? And does anybody have any predictions? Am I out on a limb here? Oh my gosh! Maybe he converted to a religion. Maybe is it possible? Holy moly! What do you think? Let's give your check-ins really fast. Matthew is there, Charleston, South Carolina. How you doing? Linda is there from the Dalles. Hi. Jill saying hello, everyone from Australia. Hello, Jill. Linda is there. Jason is in Kennesaw, Georgia. Says into hizzy. Janet is 1 Kings 2, 1 through 46. Okay. Matt's checking in from Amboy, Minnesota. Mary is saying, howdy, Northern California conservative. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Mary. Thank you. Vicky is checking in from Tennessee. Mary is just down the road in Scottsdale, Arizona. Mary says, Scottsdale here, like your feed. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you, Mary. Please tell your friends. George checking in from Blanca, Colorado. Ian says, sounds like a regular mental defective. Jason says, doesn't matter what he is. CNN will report him as a white dude with guns. Mary says, Trudeau let the crazies in. Well, listen, Canada's been letting crazies in for a long, long time. And I'm kind of surprised, pleasantly surprised, that they haven't had more terrorism there because Canada was really, really easy on letting people from countries that have been hateful to the West in. Let's see here. William, are there any Canadians still living in Canada? Yeah. Pamela checking in. Tim's in Washington State. Emily in Gosport, Indiana. Angela's in Greenwood, Indiana. Judy is in Greenville, Michigan. Lakita is there. Blanchard, Oklahoma. David checking in from Utah. Judy shared the video. If you haven't shared the video, would you do that for me, please? Let's take a look at this guy getting captured finally by the Popo, by the 550, by the cops, by the fuzz, by the citizens on patrol. And let's take a good look at how he behaved himself. And should he be even alive right now? If I was a cop, I would have pulled the trigger. On the other hand, I guess it'll be nice to find out what he has to say. But this guy did not deserve to live, if you ask me. But what do I know? You tell me, do you think he should have survived this incident? Check it out here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. By the way, I just noticed this. Look at the building he's in front of. What is this lettering in yellow? Is that Arabic lettering? Is it just a coincidence that he stopped underneath an Arabic sign? I mean, there's a lot of places he could have stopped, but for some reason, right? I mean, maybe that's not Arabic. Maybe I'm wrong. I find that very interesting. Darren thinks, by the way, this will take a backseat to the kid in Nashville because the kid in Nashville had an AK-47. You might be right. But notice, again, right in front of, or right behind the van where he parked, that smashed up van he rented, that appears to be Arabic lettering. Again, could be coincidence. I want to know what you think. Let's continue. Look at him pointing the weapon at the guy, at the cops. Keep pointing at the cops. I would have shot him. Get down, dummy. Get down. They should have shot him. Look at this. And he's walking towards the cop. Okay, now he's down. He walked towards the cop with the gun out. Dumbass. Okay, he's captured. Wow. That guy's lucky to be alive. Okay. Oh, here's another shot from up above. They're going after him. Back. Okay, then he finally drops the gun and backs off after the cop gets right in his face. Here's another thing I saw that I thought was, well, another video, another angle here. Man, I can't believe that you're pointing a gun straight at a cop and they don't shoot you. Here's the other thing I thought was interesting. Let me go back here just a little bit. What kind of dummies? Look at these people right there in the back. What kind of dummies are just sitting there when you got a bunch of cops all around and the guy with the gun right here, and you're just standing right in front of the store going, doopy-doo. Gee, I wonder what's going on there today. That just kind of looks kind of interesting. Just a little bit much. Jack agrees that looks like Arabic writing. Jason says, well, maybe that was the only parking meter with time left. Good theory, but he is on the sidewalk and not in front of the parking meter. Just saying. Let's see here. Chris checking in from Sholo, Arizona. How you doing, Chris? Pamela says, no, he'll probably get found not guilty and awarded a large amount of money for his trouble. Well, it is in Canada, and they do have a history of that. The uses of his second is a matter of time. Ian says, could this be attempted suicide by cop? Maybe. Mary Rose says that Trudeau caters to Muslims. He and Obama have an extra special loving Muslim partnership. Alan says, didn't his bell get rung for this? It doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Okay. All right, so we're going to keep on that story. We'll find out more. We'll keep you posted. Would you have shot that guy? I mean, I'm not saying I want the guy dead. I'm just saying if I'm a cop and I have the right to go home, which I believe you do as a cop, and some guy who has already run over, he killed 9 people, and he's pointing a gun, he keeps pointing the gun, he's walking after you, I would have blasted him. I mean, no offense, Canada, but that seems like your cop is kind of a candy ass. I don't know. Mike thinks it's a thankless job. It is. And then they did finally catch the shooter the Waffle House shooter in Nashville. And finally, the way he was caught was some guy grabbed the gun and just pulled him away from him. Thank goodness he was able to do it. He burned his hand. But again, I'm a supporter of your Second Amendment rights, and I believe in concealed carry permits. And think of how many people would not have died had somebody just went, oh, somebody's walking and shooting people. Pow, thank you, goodbye. Give me a free chopped with covered, scrambled, flip-flopped. I don't remember the Waffle House menu, but you know what I'm saying. Matt and Penny say they would have popped him. Alan says, yep, he would have gotten popped. Angela would have done it. Lakita says, yeah, kill him. Why would you waste the money for however long? Now, is there any footage of the van rampaging into people, killing them and injuring others? I've seen something, but I don't have it handy. Jack said, I spent 10 years in the Army. I would have double-tapped that guy between the eyes as soon as he pointed his gun at me. No, you don't shoot at the head. That's one of the things I learned in the gun class. You go for the big area here. Let's see here. Matt said, if I was that cop, I would have dropped him like third period French class. I would have dropped him like a bad transmission. I would have flipped him like a cheese omelet. Mary says if he was somewhere besides Canada, he'd been dead. Okay. Like I said, they did catch the Waffle House guy, and thankfully somebody was able to stop him. There's another Waffle House story. And I hate to bring it up. I do. But it is another one of these videos where they only started as soon as the cop starts enforcing the law. It looks like it's a big racist thing, and the cop is probably going to be in big trouble for this. I would like to know, I'm going to play the video, and we're going to play a game. You make the call. Would you have arrested this woman, or would you have done something different? Okay, this is in Mobile, Alabama. I believe it happened over the weekend, but it's just making news right now.
You haven't did nothing. You haven't did nothing too.
By the way, there could be some language, but I don't know.
That's the only thing she asked him. I'm going to go over there and get the card from them.
I heard the F-bomb and everything.
No, because Goldie was sitting here talking crazy to me. No, but that's not what you're going to do to me. You're not going to grab on me like that, no. Come on, Kiki, let's just go outside. Please talk to you separately. Because he just come here and just grabs on me like for no reason. I would say I was
okay, let me just stop right now. The friend is going, come on, let's just go. Now, I don't know who's teaching these young ladies how to deal with the police, but when the police are there and telling you to do something, you don't just say, come on, let's just go. You're cruising for a bruising. Something's going to happen, and it's not going to be good for you. I don't understand why in this society right now it's okay that you could talk back to cops. When did that become okay? When did it become okay when the cop says, sit down, put your hands behind your back, or whatever, that it's okay to go, up yours, copper? When did that happen? All right. Let's see here. Jill says the guy in Canada needs to be executed, any family deported. William says, as an officer, if he had shot him, the media would have turned on the officer. Well, we're going to see that in this video in just a second. What I'm showing you is the one in Mobile, yes. Matt and Penny says the guy in Nashville should have gone, his father should go to jail for giving him the guns back. Yeah, I didn't want to get too much into it because you've heard it all day long, but the kid in Nashville had some problems, mental problems. He thought that Taylor Swift had been following him around, although I understand that happens to me all the time. She won't leave me alone either. So, dude, I get it. But they took his guns, the police took his guns, and then the father gave them back to him, which was not thinking at all. George says, I'm a firm believer in stand your ground law for all, big or small. Alan says, come on, lady, comply. Emily says, the shooting was at a Waffle House, so they're going to try to ban pancakes. I wonder if I need to buy up a bunch of mix before they take it off the market. All she wants is this film to go to TV with it. Kurt says it's a lack of respect. Elsie says it's not okay. Listen to what the police say you do. All right, we're going to get back to this video because you got another minute to go. And again, you tell me, did this police officer do the right thing or the wrong? What would you do if you were the cop? Or what would you do if you were this woman? Let's continue.
What else? I'll see they was acting what they know. Why are y'all pushing her? She's not doing nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? No, y'all doing nothing. Y'all ain't really doing stuff to me. What are you doing?
Man, not to break your arm. That's what I'm about to do.
You about to break her arm?
Okay, now that's the thing that's getting a lot of attention right now. She says, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he says, I'm about to break your arm. That's what I'm about to do. Oh my gosh, the cop is going to break her arm. He's threatening her. Now, by the way, it appears that she's fought so much her top has fallen off. They had to blink. They pixelated out her top. So I don't know what happened there. Let's see. Mary says, when the NFL kneels in front of America, all disrespect was taken from our men in blue. Shame on the NFL. Darren says, everyone wants their 5 minutes of fame. Act the fool. 5 minutes of fame. Patty says she's resisting arrest. Elsie says, I'm from Mobile area and the cops were right. Jack says 3 words, taser, taser, taser. All right, let's continue. Again, maybe you change your mind. Let's go.
Like, what are y'all doing? No, y'all got her titties out and everything. What's going on? No, I'm trying to understand what's going on. Y'all ain't even talking about why she being on the raid. Y'all not even telling me what I'm doing. Like, why you talking? Kiki, just turn over. Kiki, turn over.
Pull your head around.
What am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong? Y'all haven't told me anything that I did wrong. Y'all haven't told me anything that I did wrong. Y'all got her head behind her back. Right. I don't have anything.
You want to come fix her clothes?
No, y'all fix it. Y'all got it.
Okay. So the story is, according to the woman, was she was angry at Waffle House because they tried to charge her for plastic utensils. Is it possible there might be more to that story? I'm curious what you think. Shirley said they got tired of fooling with her. Brian said they had to defuse the situation once it was initiated. Alan said she was clearly not listening. Terry says, taser, please. Another Shirley says, oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, if the cops did the right thing, I want to see thumbs up from you. Thumbs up if the cops did the right things. If the cop did the wrong thing, I want the frowny face. Let's see what you have to say. I want you to, Kristen says yawn. Ask and you shall receive, says Danny. George says she resisted, duh. Ian says she should also be charged with indecent exposure. Tim thinks we're going to see a lot more of these types of altercations in the future. Boy, I hope not. All right, so thumbs ups if the cops did the right things. The angry face, mad face if the cops did the wrong thing. Police were correct, period, says Brian. 3 guys could not take her out on her feet. That's sad. Okay, it looks like President, as you keep your voting, keep it going, keep your comments going. Yes, Darren says all that for a spork. I could be wrong, but I got a feeling it may have been just a little bit more than that. Mary's does say police get too rough at times, but if a cop asked me to leave, I would leave. I probably would too. Okay, looks like President Herbert Walker Bush, of course, has a very bad week. First Lady Barbara Bush passed away, and now it appears he has gone into intensive care. And would anybody be surprised if he passed away at any minute? God forbid, but he's been old and sickly, and when people have been together that long and one of them died, they don't tend to stay around much longer. But here's the news story as it's breaking.
Following breaking news out of Houston, former President George H.W. Bush is in the hospital after contracting an infection that spread to his blood. A statement from his office says the 93-year-old was admitted yesterday and that he is responding to treatments and appears to be recovering. The news, of course, comes just days after President Bush lost his wife of 73 years, Barbara. He spent time greeting mourners at her visitation on Thursday. We are monitoring the situation. We'll bring you any new developments as soon as they happen.
All right. I was not a big fan of Herbert Walker Bush, but certainly our prayers are with him and his family. And, you know, you don't want to see anybody suffer like that, whether you like them politically or not. Terry says, when you lose respect, it's over. Danny said, people want to know why cops have to use force. There you go. Elsie said, it would not surprise me. He's tired and sorry she's gone. Yeah. Brian says, Bush was the director of the CIA. Yeah, he was. And it looks like the new director of the CIA, I'm going to give a little credit here today to a Democrat. What? Yes. It looked like Mike Pompeo, who is up to be the next Secretary of State. He's already gone and hung out and met with Kim Jong-un, and he was the CIA director. Trump wants him to be the Secretary of State. And it looks like they had a dead tie in one of the committees, and that it was going to make it much harder for him to get an up or down vote. Well, Senator Coons changed his vote from no to present, which made it so that the tie was broken, and Mike Pompeo is going to get, Director Pompeo is going to get the opportunity to get an up-down vote in the Senate, and it does appear he'll probably win. Also, Rand Paul changed his vote and did vote in favor. I think the guy's a good guy, and it's good to see that he is going to get in there. Let's see here. Pamela says he's a member of the New World Order. Okay. What else is in the news today? Oh. You know Milo Yiannopoulos? Milo is a friend of mine. He's had a kind of a rough time lately. Once the left media goes after you and tries to destroy your life, they're pretty good at it. Unfortunately, they're fabulous at it. Nobody is better at taking something that you did as an accident or was a long time ago or whatever it was, and turning that into something where if you're not destroyed, they're not happy. And it's not just they want you to apologize. They want your career to end. You can never make another dollar again if the left has their way. Now, again, you don't have to like Milo Yiannopoulos. He's very outspoken. He is a gay conservative libertarian. Although the left is trying to paint him as an alt-right guy, which I don't know anybody that's really alt-right. I don't know these Nazis that the media parade out there. I've never met them. I don't know who they're talking about. I know a lot of Tea Party people. I know a lot of folks who are conservative and want to see less government spending. I know Trump supporters. I've never seen a Klansman, ever. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know where the left is finding them. Or is it maybe a lot of people pretending to feel this way so as to give ammunition to the left to try to beat that over the right? Again, you can't just like Donald Trump for his policies. You have to be a Nazi. You have to be a hater. You have to be a racist, a homophobe, or whatever. Jason says, Milo is so fabulous. Anyway, Milo was at a bar in New York City over the weekend, and here's what happened when he's just sitting there minding his own business.
Nazi scum, get out! 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 Nazi scum, get out!
He's not even looking at him. He wasn't even paying attention to him. He was just in there looking at his phone and talking to a friend. So now, if the left doesn't like you, you can't even be in a public bar. Let's play a little bit more here.
Nazi scum, get out! Nazi scum, get out! Nazi scum, get out! Nazi scum, get out!
Bye!
Nazi scum, get out!
Bye! Hey, hey, go home. That's a prideful moment for them? To eject a homosexual from a bar who was just sitting there minding his own business? By the way, we later found out, and I'm sure this is going to be a surprise to you. You take a look at the story, and it appears the video identified the chanting group as members of the Democratic Socialists of America. Yep, more commies. What a shock. So it's not just liberalism is a mental disorder. It's socialism. It's communism. It's all of these things where they believe they have the right and the responsibility to tell you what you can or cannot do and what you can or cannot think. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Brian said that is pretty sad. Milo is very cool. Jay says if they practice what they preach, maybe they should leave. Shirley says, wonder who started it. Raymond said, didn't hear it long enough or in the right place for lifers to be your rights head, exhaust legalists. His friend was on Carlson an hour ago. Tom says, pathetic that they call themselves liberals, but they are anything but liberal thinkers. They're snowflakes. Milo put out a lengthy post on Instagram, it says. He says, I was just shoved and screamed at by a big group at a pub in Manhattan and forced out of the place. They were screaming at the top of their lungs about Nazis and KKK. He claimed he would have stayed at the bar, but that situation was about to escalate into something ugly. It is now impossible for me to safely go out for lunch in most cities in America because I supported Trump in the last election and don't like feminism. Yeah. I know he was supposed to be here in Arizona a couple of months ago. We were supposed to hang out, have dinner, talk, and he had to cancel. Again, death threats. It's shameful. Very, very shameful. Another thing that is shameful and something that can affect you, might not just can, but probably will. Have you ever had any of your information stolen online? I know I have. I remember one day I went to buy something with my debit card and the money was gone. What do you mean the money was gone? What do you mean I got declined? I just put a bunch of money in there. What are you talking about? And I go and I check and it's overdrawn by like $1,000. What? Come to find out, someone had somehow gotten my identification and bought 3 computers from Best Buy. And I said, hey, Best Buy, can I have the address where you sent them? I'd be real curious. No, sir, that's against our rules. And I want to say, why is that against your rules? It's my money. You used my credit card and you sent computers to somebody else, and I don't get to know who it was? Well, fortunately, I have gotten wiser over the years and have done things to help protect myself, and I've got something that I want to encourage you to do to protect yourself too. And it is a VPN. What is a VPN? A virtual private network, and this is called Virtual Shield. You see that in your upper left-hand corner, Virtual Shield? It's virtualshield.com. If you use virtualshield.com and then /Rusty, which is my name, they're going to give you 20% off your first term. Just type in the promo code Rusty. But this will help you protect your information from big data and Big Brother right now. Just like it says here, warning. The United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australian governments have killed your privacy. Don't fall victims to companies like AT&T and Comcast and Spectrum and Charter and Verizon who control and collect and sell your online browsing history. Now, with Virtual Shield, nobody can track your browsing history. This is a way for you to reclaim your privacy. And it's so important. So do yourself and your family a favor. Go to virtualshield.com. virtualshield.com /Rusty. That's me. Type in the promo code Rusty and you will get 20% off, okay? So go check that out if you would, please. All right? It'll help you not just from those scammers, but from the companies getting your browsing history, and you don't want that. Mary says, isn't it against their rules to sell under your name to somebody else? It's supposed to be. Find out more about Virtual Shield. This is not one you should wait. This is something you should check out right away. And by the way, no payments for 30 days. Try it for free for 30 days, for one full month, and find out why you need Virtual Shield. It's a virtual shield of your privacy, and far too important to ignore. Do not hesitate. Go do that now. virtualshield.com /Rusty. Promo code Rusty. Okay? Are you gonna do that? By the way, have you do that right now? virtualshield.com. Also, will you share the video? Have you shared it tonight? Have you shared it? Jason says someone went into my bank as me. Note my last name. Not very common, so you tend to be remembered. Bank called me while the dude was trying to withdraw money, got arrested. That's good. I will tell you this, we went to Disneyland over the weekend. And my 17-year-old daughter is not real organized, and she lost her wallet. And it had driver's license, debit card, and $35. Reported it to Disneyland, nothing. Called them in the morning, nothing. Called them again, nothing. And by the way, it was, 35, 40-minute phone calls on hold. Listening to It's a Small World After All music, driving you nuts. And anyway, yesterday afternoon, hello, it's Mickey. Hey, Mick, what's going on? Hey, we found the purse. We found the purse. Boy, I can't do that voice right now. I don't know why. Jason's going to check out Virtual Shield, and you should. Tom has a VPN. Tom, check out Virtual Shield. Save some money, too. Why not do that? virtualshield.com, promo code Rusty. All righty. Anything else going on in the news that yous needs to know? Oh. So the Democrats want to take your guns. Let's go over some of the lists the Democrats want to do. They want to take your guns. They want to raise your taxes. Oh, our teachers are walking out here in Arizona, so they want to raise my taxes. They didn't want to shoot the guy in Toronto. They want to make it easier for illegal immigrants to get amnesty. But the one thing they do not want, the one thing that needs to be stopped, the one thing, the one right that must be given is that monkeys should be able to sue for copyright infringement. Yes, now you're going, oh, come on, Rusty. You're joking here. No, that's the problem. The problem is I am not joking. So I guess I've seen this picture, but I didn't know much about it. I guess so. The story is, and let's look at it together here because it's interesting. A crested macaque, I don't know what that is. A monkey. Took this selfie of himself playing around, made this selfie in 2011 when wildlife photographer David Slater left his camera unattended. So the photographer takes the picture and puts it up online and sells it to magazines and makes money. But wait, there's more. Oh, by the way, Linda wants to know, is there anything left of the daughter's purse from Disney? Yes, that she got all the money back. They're sending all the money. She got it all back. Thank you, Disneyland. All right. So the photographer finds the picture. He starts selling it, and an animal rights group sues. PETA sues him. Why does PETA sue him? Are you ready? No, seriously, are you ready? Because I'm not making this up. PETA sues saying that the monkey owned the copyright because it took the picture. The monkey, according to PETA, owned the copyright because the monkey took the picture of himself, and because of that, the monkey should have got all the money. This is what the left is fighting for. So it goes to the Ninth Supreme Court. Now, this is the most liberal one, as you know, and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says, we must determine whether a monkey may sue humans, corporations, and companies for damages and injunctive relief arising from claims of copyright infringement. So they had to think about it. They actually had to get a lawyer for the monkey and have the monkey argue. I want to know who had the right to sue. Who had the there's a word. What's the word? I forget. I'm not a lawyer. Who had the right to sue for the monkey? You can't just sue on everything. By the way, the monkey has not yet commented on this. You are correct. So, according to the court, we conclude that this monkey and all animals are not, since they are not humans, lack statutory standing under the Copyright Act. Oh, that's the word I was looking for, standing. How do you have standing to make the lawsuit? Who had standing to do it for him? So, after, 2011, we're in 2018 now. 7 years, it has finally been ruled that a monkey cannot sue for copyright infringement of selfies, according to the Ninth Circuit Court. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts that the liberals will take this to the Supreme Court. Because that's what they have to worry about. That's how awful our country is. We got to worry about, should monkeys be able to get cash from taking selfies? By the way, I would think that the photographer would have a right to sue the monkey for playing around with his camera without permission. Jason says, once again, focusing on the wrong things. Nice work, sheeple. See, that's why I'm pointing it out, Jason. People need to see they wasted 7 years on this. It went to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. This is outrageous. Outrageous. It's a good picture, though. I will say this. I mean, I haven't gotten, if I got married or something, if I need a wedding photographer, I might consider that monkey. I'm not saying for sure because I don't know how much it would cost me. And would I have a copyright infringement issue? I don't know. But it is something to think about. Tim says, that monkey would obviously take the money and go buy bananas and beer. So that could get out of control. Very true. And Brian says the monkey is pleading the fifth. Virtual Shield. Are you going to go there? Don't forget Virtual Shield /Rusty. Get your discount. Go check it out. Also, have you followed me in the Hear Me Out app yet? If you haven't, what are you talking about, Willis? Why ain't you follow me in the Hear Me Out app? You making me mangry. Don't make me mangry. I don't know what mangry is. But the Hear Me Out app is important. It is an incredible app that is all audio. And it's like Twitter, but with audio. Interesting. I post a couple times a day. Larry King posts. Chuck Woolery, other great people. And you can too. You can post too, just like you would on Twitter or Facebook. But it's all audio. And I personally have spoken with the creators of this app, and they are not censoring conservative speech. So this is a nice app to get used to. It's a lot easier to just talk for 40 seconds than it is to try to come up with something on the fly. So if you would please follow, just download the Hear Me Out app on your phone. Doesn't cost anything. Sign up. Find me, #Rusty or Rusty Humphries. No space between a Y and the H on Rusty Humphries because I was stupid and I messed that up. But if you do that, I'd appreciate it. If you give me some thumbs up and some hearts for this show and share it. Also, if you would go and check out Liberty One TV, a great organization, fantastic hosts, and good men and women that believe in our country and are as patriotic as you are. And all they want to do is fight for what is right. Support them, would you please? LibertyOneTV.com. I'd appreciate that. And I want to thank the nice folks at Right Wing News. That's it for me. May God bless you and may God bless America. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. See you maybe tomorrow.